Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. Today we have the '08 Legacy here, and I'm gonna show you how to troubleshoot and replace the wiper motors. So this car, for the past couple of months, the wiper cycle has been getting slower and slower, and now it's just not working anymore. So today I'm gonna troubleshoot it, make sure that it's actually the motor that is bad. I think it's the motor, but I'm gonna show you how to do that just so you can confirm that the motor is what's went bad, right? It's not any other electrical issue like a short or something. And I'm also gonna show you how to actually remove the motor and replace it. So yeah, let's pop the hood and start removing the wiper blades and the cowls. All right, we're gonna start by removing the wipers first here. If you want, you can mark. You can use a little bit of tape. That way you have an idea when you're putting everything back together. Where is the end state position of your wipers? Now we're gonna start by removing the caps that reveal the nut for the wipers. And we have I think this is a 14 millimeter nut. So let me check. Yeah, so in my case this is a 14 millimeter nut, but depending on your car it could be something else. The next step is to remove the cowl. This is being held here by some clips. This is fairly typical with pretty much every car. You might have, a couple of bolts, but usually it's just a bunch of clips everywhere. So yeah, just in this car, in the Legacy, same thing. I think in the Outback, it's the same car. It has 3 clips up here, and then a bunch of them like around this section of the cowl. Let's start by removing those. You can use a screwdriver or a pick tool, whatever you have available. Just take your time, be patient, and should come out at some point. Let's put that on the side. All right, we got the cowl off from the top. And something to keep in mind, if this is the first time that you have done this, or maybe the first time that somebody has been like underneath the top cowl on the car, you're gonna find a bunch of crap there. All leaves, all that stuff dries up, right? And then it makes this ball of garbage everywhere, right? So what you can do is, and I already did, so make sure, see, a lot of debris and dirt is gonna accumulate here. This is the intake for the AC system right there. So, and this is pretty typical for most of the cars. Under the cowl, that's where you have like outside air intake for the AC system. And then my car had like a lot of junk here. So I just cleaned that up there, and make sure, yeah, you clean it, because I don't know if you can see, but there are two drains right there. So I also cleaned those up. All right, so this is the wiper motor here. We're gonna disconnect. This is for troubleshooting purposes. So you're gonna disconnect the plug, right? And if you have a multimeter or if you have a test light, you can use that. So I have this Amazon multimeter. So you're gonna put the black wire into the negative pole of the battery, right? And then you can test. See, we have voltage. So what you're gonna see is that there's no power, right? There's nothing there. So this one in the middle is a black wire, so this one is ground. And I think, at least in this car, the yellow and black should be accessory power. So this, when you connect the key on, this one should always have power. And then the other ones are for the wiper speed. So every time that you click on the speed, one of these will give you power. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch the key to accessory, and then we're gonna start testing this out. So hopefully right here we get power, and then none of these we're not gonna get power, and then we can start cycling through the wiper speed. All right, so now if you can see, this is the black and yellow wire. So we have 12 volts here now, right? And the other ones should be no power because we don't have the wipers on right now. So this one, so here we're showing that we have power on this speed right here. This one we don't have power. And then see, we're showing power here. So looks like we're feeding power to two of the speeds at the same time, plus the always on power when the accessory is on. So this means that there could be a problem with a short or with the switch itself. So I'm gonna go down in through the speeds and see what shows up here. So this is the first speed. See, we still show the 12 volts. No volts here. And we're not getting voltage here. All right, So let me switch to another speed. So we're getting 12 volts there. Now we're getting 12 volts here and nothing here. And we're still getting our 12 volts here to the accessory. So let me go to the last one. So we're showing no power here. Now we're showing 12 volts here. And we're showing also 12 volts here. And 12 volts here. All right. So to remove the motor, we have to actually get the whole mechanism out. So we have a couple of 10mm bolts here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that should bring everything, all this stuff out. All right. So now we gotta remove this nut from here so we can free the mechanism, and we gotta remove this shoe bolt, and that should free up the motor. All right, so now we're gonna remove this shoe bolt here, and this is to free up the motor from the mechanism. After you take this shoe out, there is a nut on the other side that's holding the rod that moves when the motor gets activated. It's holding it to the mechanism, so we'll get that out, and that should free the motor. So it's this nut right here. Yeah, you can move it around, see? No, it's not free. All right. All right. So let me bring the other motor, and then we'll do everything back in reverse. All right, guys, so I have everything back in place. So make sure that when you're tightening this up, I'll say make sure that you know where the actual position is of the rod here with this bracket. You can mark it with a Sharpie or something, because then when you're putting everything back, right, this whole thing has to line up so it can move properly. All you have to do is mark the nut and then mark the bracket and mark the old motor, and then when you're putting the new one, you're kind of like gonna see where it should be. I didn't do that, so I have to refer back to the video and see how it was on the original configuration. But now we got it all back in place, so let's put this back in the car and see if it works. All right, we got the 4 bolts back on. They don't go too tight. They have a rubber bushing, so they don't really go too tight. All right, so now we can connect the power, that plug back. Okay. And now we can start putting everything back together. So we're gonna bring the cowl back, connect all the clips, and put the wipers back on. All right, we have everything back in place. So now we can test if it works. Let's see. The keys here. All right. So yeah, this is what I was fearing, that we do have an issue with the actual switch. So you can see it doesn't return back into position, and none of the other speeds work. So that's what we saw on the plug, that we were always getting power to the low speed, the medium speed. So yeah, so it looks like the motor wasn't working either, right? Because none of the speeds used to work, but now we have the high speed, it works now, but the other ones don't work because power is always constant on that. So I think the switch might be defective. All right, so yeah, I think that is an issue. There's probably the actual switch doesn't work. So I'm gonna try to find one and replace it. But at least I know that I have a new motor here, and yeah, seems like everything is, at least on this side, on the mechanical side, everything is working properly. So now we got to address what's going on the electrical side. Well, this is a bummer, but it happens sometimes. So we'll get the switch, we'll put it on and continue. I'll show another video how to do that if you guys are interested, on how to replace the selector switch. So I'll get one of those and then put it in. So thanks again for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.